Welcome to English to Africa TV's Eyecatcher. This week on Africa 54.
Hello, I'm Africa 54 Managing Editor Vincent McCory in for #the
CCM has the majority in the parliament, but what they are asking is to create a special commission.
Benedict's death on December 31 ended an unusual decade of the former and present Pope living side by side in the Vatican. Benedict shocked the world by resigning nearly a decade ago, the first Pope to do so in 600 years.
I've learned to forgive. Forgiveness is one of the key.
He was a great leader. He had his weaknesses.
So we have announced and signed our first regional agreement, which is the compact between Benin and Niger. It's going to be the first time MCC is doing a regional compact between two countries.
From Capitol Hill, hello, Ignatius.
Since speaking to you yesterday, roughly 21 Republicans are still on their retrenched position as I speak to you.
What does this lifting of the ban mean for politicians and political parties, political activists in Tanzania?
I don't think if her party will like the speech. I don't think so.
What is contained in the bill, it's our goodies for women. It actually lays the foundation for the liberation of our women to close the gender gap. That is the best way to put it.
Those in Africa watching us first want to know how much representation is there of Africa?
Well, until now, we only got to speak to one representative from Burkina Faso, but we also learned today that there will be an assigned aisle for 20 African startups today at the opening.
I'm originally from Ghana, West Africa.
What are you going to play for us now?
Go straight into Heaven Knows.
Okay.
See, I just want you to let me be the one that you want.
On Straight Talk Africa,
I'm Haiti Adams. Thank you so much for joining me. Karwala is a politician, social activist, and entrepreneur. She was the first woman to run for president in her home country of Cameroon.
The hardest thing is deciding to stand up in a country where you know it's going to be dangerous, you know it's going to put yourself at risk, your family at risk, and it is making that decision to actually go to the very forefront of the political scene.
The world has underinvested in African brilliance, and up till now, African students have had limited access to global universities. That's the view of Lydia Bosire. She's the founder and CEO of 8B Education Investments.
The challenge that an African student who is ambitious faces is that they do not have the financing if the household income is insufficient or if they do not get a scholarship. As a result of that, there are many, many African students every year. Our estimate is that the financing gap is $25 billion a year worth of a financing gap.
On Red Carpet.
Hello and welcome to VOA's Red Carpet. My name is Jackson Bonganyi. Thank you so much for joining us today. On this episode of Red Carpet, we take a look inside Qatar's Souk Waqif market. A new exhibition at the Smithsonian National Museum of American History, and up-and-coming Ghanaian dancehall artist Iona Renee talks music.
You know, because of the wave, you don't get to hear yourself, you know, so it's a place where you can really, really shout. Come and go, everything's gonna be alright, and everything's gonna be okay, and everything's gonna be alright here.
On Healthy Living.
This week on Healthy Living, it's a new year, and we have some experts' advice for a healthier you in 2023. What is your New Year's resolution this year? We'll have some answers from Nigeria. And Ethiopian chiropractor Dr. Saleh Maklilu discusses wellness through mind-brain coherence.
To start with, you know, what I would make something forefront for wellness these days is if we can have our heart and brain connected.
Plus, Is it true that eating eggs increases your cholesterol? That's in this edition of Healthy Living.
And on VOA Our Voices.
Hello and welcome to Our Voices. I'm Amina Aliyu, joined by my colleagues Barbara and Seminesh. Hello and Happy New Year, ladies.
Happy New Year.
Let's take a look at last year. 2022 was an emotional year for women worldwide. From the abortion debates sparked by the overturning of Roe v. Wade here in the United States, to the ghastly discovery of female child factories in southeastern Nigeria, consisting of girls aged 14 to 17. We also have the splendid images from Qatar of Moroccan mothers dancing and celebrating their son's victory as the Moroccan team advanced to the quarterfinals at the World Cup. Let's start with the events that most captured your attention in your regions.
The conflict in northern Ethiopia, it lasted for 2 years, including last year, and this had a major toll on women and children especially.
So in Lusophone Africa, which is the Portuguese-speaking countries in Africa, we have one curious case of the Africa's richest woman, Isabel dos Santos.
Yeah.
On the other coast, in Mozambique, we have a conflict in Cabo Delgado, which is the northern part of the country. And women, as always, have been the main target of extremists.
This and more have been happening this week on English to Africa TV. Hasuna Beshu for voaafrica.com.